Hi, I'm Sergio Delamora, the pastor of the Cornerstone Church of San Diego and the author of Paradox, the God who breaks the rules. I believe in every generation there are people that come to a place in their life when what they've known about God is simply not enough. And I believe it's this generation. Paradox, the God who breaks the rules, I believe is going to change this generation. See, eventually, when we go through crisis, when we go through spiritual crisis, when we realize that the answers and the rules that we live by aren't helping us break through and make it through these difficult times, we look for a different God. We look for the God who breaks the rules. See, when I was 17 years old, I came to know the God who breaks the rules. In fact, that's when this book was starting to be written. When I gave my life to Jesus Christ, no one would have thought that I would be a pastor, that I would be an author, and that I would be a person talking about how God breaks rules. But see, that's the God who I discovered. When I grew up, I knew the God of rules. I knew the God of regulations, but I didn't know the God of relationship. All I thought was if I just kept the rules, that God would be happy. But when I gave my life to Jesus Christ, I learned something different. See, my first church service wasn't like the average person's first church service. Before I went to church, I snorted a half a gram of cocaine, and on my way to church, I prayed a prayer. God, if you can change my life, I'll give it to you. The day that I entered church, I believe God broke the rules because he chose a person that people wouldn't have chosen. In fact, when people first saw me come to church, they would have never imagined that I'd be a mega church pastor, or that I would lead a movement, or write a book on the God who breaks the rules. But it's a testimony how it isn't how you start, it's how you finish. And if we're willing to give God permission to change our rules, then God can show us things about himself that he's always wanted to show us. This book is going to inspire people to take a second look at God. So many people have given up on God because they feel like they can't live within his rules, or sometimes because their life doesn't match what they think a Christian life should be. The beautiful part of this book is that this book speaks to people who could be chosen by God, though they wouldn't be chosen by man. The story of David is the classic story of a brother who was among 7 other brothers who, when the prophet Samuel came to look for the next king, and the father showed 7 of his sons to Samuel, only to come to the awareness that God didn't choose any of them. And then the question was asked, do you have another son? And lo and behold, here comes David. He's all full of dirt. He's come in from the outside. No one expected him to be chosen. He didn't go through the ceremonial process of purification like the other brothers. But David steps up, and immediately when Samuel sees him, God says, the jar of oil says, this is the one. This is the one who wants the oil. And when everyone else was rejecting David, God chose David. This book is going to inspire people to open up their heart and give God permission to have the part of their life that he's always wanted. This book is about an unchanging God who is willing to change his methods to reach us, but not change his principles. See, when we give God permission to break our rules, then we discover a part of God that few people discover. Paradox will change people. It'll change you because you'll come to know also the God who breaks the rules.